The footage you're about to see has left a lot of people genuinely shocked that this took place here in the UK. The video shows a large gathering of foreign individuals holding what appears to be an organized event right in the middle of a public road. Instead of using a hall, a park, or an authorized venue, the entire group is gathered across the street, blocking traffic, disrupting residents, and creating a situation that clearly should never have been allowed to escalate. We'll dive into this story in today's video, but before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Right now, only 12% of viewers are subscribed, so join the community and help us grow. What really stands out is the volume, as speech is being blasted through powerful speakers, echoing through the area and reaching far beyond the immediate crowd. People living nearby can be heard expressing frustration at the noise, and drivers are unable to pass, forced to sit and wait while the road is effectively turned into a private function. It's the kind of disruption that would raise eyebrows anywhere, let alone in a busy British neighborhood where people are simply trying to go about their day. The biggest issue here isn't the gathering itself, it's the complete disregard for everyone around them. There are procedures for public events, especially those involving large groups and amplified sound. You need permission, safety checks, and proper management. None of that seems to be present here. Instead, the road is taken over as if it belongs exclusively to the group, with no thought given to residents trying to work, relax, or even just move freely through their own community. Scenes like this leave many people asking fair questions. How was this allowed to happen? Where were the local authorities? Why wasn't the disruption addressed before it got out of hand? If anyone else had attempted to shut down a road for an unauthorized event, there's no doubt it would have been handled immediately. The lack of consistency is what frustrates so many viewers. This video is a clear example of why public order rules exist in the first place. Everyone has the right to celebrate, gather, or express themselves, but not at the expense of an entire community's peace, safety, and freedom of movement. Have a watch of the footage yourself, and you'll see why so many people are stunned that an event like this was allowed to unfold right in the middle of a public street. In the end, the reaction to this footage is completely understandable. A public road being taken over without permission, noise blasting across the neighborhood, and residents and drivers being forced to deal with the disruption, it's not acceptable under any circumstances. In other news, Donald Trump's administration will urge Sir Keir Starmer to address Britain's mass migration crisis. It can exclusively be revealed. An official American communique, seen by the People's Channel, will be issued to governments across Europe and the West stating, "We encourage your government to ensure that policies protect your citizens from the negative social impacts of mass migration, including displacement, sexual assault, and the breakdown of law and order." The US State Department issued the memo to American embassies in Europe, including Britain, telling officials to urge governments to positively respond to their citizens' growing discontent related to unmitigated migration. The memo also cited organized rape gangs in the United Kingdom as an example of how mass migration has damaged European nations. Responding to the bombshell document, ex-Home Secretary Suella Braverman told GB News, "It speaks volumes when Washington has to remind our own government of its basic duty to protect the British public. Trump is right to call out Starmer's disastrous record on mass migration. Britain must follow our US allies with unapologetically firm border control, decisive deportations for anyone who has no legal right to be here, a zero-tolerance approach to foreign nationals who break our laws, and a system that finally puts British people first. Until more people are leaving than arriving, we cannot pretend our borders are secure." US officials are now required to report on violent crimes and human rights abuses perpetrated by migrant populations. And note, policies that unduly favor migrants at the expense of local populations, such as by leniency in punishment of migrant crimes or displacement of local populations from housing to accommodate migrants. The new State Department policy will put pressure on governments across Europe to tackle issues related to mass migration, including national security, public safety, and human rights. The memo takes aim at Britain specifically over the rape gang scandal and criticizes two-tiered systems that provide disproportionately lenient punishments to migrants for their crimes, an accusation that has dogged Sir Keir throughout his premiership. The Trump administration also highlighted the issue of migrants displacing local populations and raised concerns around legal consequences for criticizing mass migration. The memo comes after Lucy Connolly served 9 months in prison for an online post calling for mass deportations, and to set fire to all hotels full of the Busenkins for all I care. While you're at it, take the treacherous government politicians with them. State Department Principal Deputy Spokesman Tommy Pigott said, "Mass migration has resulted in waves of violent crime and terror attacks, the proliferation of sex trafficking gangs, and the destabilization of communities. The United States calls on Western governments to productively respond to their citizens' concerns and stands ready to assist in addressing this crisis. We are ending the era of mass migration." Robert Bates, Research Director for the Center for Migration Control, CMC, also said, "The Trump administration is right to point out that mass migration represents a threat to the British public. It is a permanent shame on Labour and Tory governments that they have tarnished Britain's international reputation through scandals like the rape gangs. The UK has seen large-scale abuse of British women and girls by certain migrant populations. Whether it's the Pakistani rape gangs or the fact a quarter of sexual assault convictions are of foreign nationals, our political class have unforgivably allowed for a proliferation of terror and misery of Britain's streets." Research from the CMC shows that foreign nationals accounted for around a quarter of all rape convictions last year, despite only accounting for just 10.9% of the British population. The American communique also states that numerous countries impacted by mass migration have seen a troubling increase in sexual assaults and related violent crimes by people of a migration background, including against children. The Trump administration has been proactive in criticizing European governments over issues like freedom of speech and mass migration. Vice President J.D. Vance told a security conference in Munich last year that freedom of speech is in retreat across Britain and Europe, and told continental leaders that there is nothing more urgent than mass migration. The US cable affirmed that the Trump administration stands ready, willing, and able to assist countries in solving the global mass migration crisis. The Foreign Office has been approached for comment. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.